Today we're going to talk about how to analyze any poem. Hello, welcome back to English Nerd. My name is Carly Stevens, and I'm going to give you the steps to analyze any poem for English class, whether or not it's obvious what it means or it is not. So the very first thing you want to do with a poem that you're presented with is read it, obviously. Read it word for word. Don't stop at the end of a line. Instead, read it through and only pause at the punctuation. It's going to give you a better sense of what the general meaning is, and then you can start your steps. Step 1, are there any vocabulary words that you do not recognize or understand? Basically, are there any parts that you can't define or you literally don't know what it's saying? So look up those vocabulary words if you don't know them, or look maybe at footnotes if it's a medieval poem and it's a really strange turn of phrase that you've never heard before or something like that. So then you have some basic understanding building blocks in place. Step 2 is going to be jotting down what the basic narrative is, if it's a narrative poem at all. What is the basic meaning? What is this poem about? And really capturing that. If you are not entirely sure, then you can look at some of the word choice and things like that and figure out what is the topic and the tone. So again, if you're stuck, you should be able to figure out what the topic is and what the tone is of the poem just by looking at the word choice, the analogies, that kind of thing. Then you're going to look at form. Is there a rhyme scheme? If so, what is it? Is there a meter? So that beat, that rhythm, right? If so, what is it? Does it change? Does it stay the same? So marking what is the rhyme scheme and what is the meter will give you some more building blocks toward fully understanding this poem, understanding it well. You have all of the initial building blocks built up, and it's time to go crazy with observation. I've said this on the channel before, but observation is the life of analysis. It's those specific things that are going to really prove or disprove any theory you have about the meaning of a poem. So start jotting down observations. Not all of them are going to be useful necessarily, but how many lines do we have? What kinds of analogies are used? You can just look at the poem and identify what it is exactly that you need to observe there. So you're gathering evidence is what you're doing as you're jotting down observations, or you're annotating a poem with everything that you're noticing there. Then you should have enough information from all those observations, from looking at the form, from answering a few of those questions earlier about what the overall meaning of the poem is. This is a little bit different than the narrative or the topic. This is what is meant to be the audience takeaway. They can be very closely aligned, the topic and the takeaway, but there's a bit more of a message in the takeaway. It can be a moral message, it can be just an emotional appeal toward the topic or something like that. But figure out what is that overall meaning. Then you're going to start asking, all right, what is the connection between these observations that I made, maybe these literary devices or the rhyme scheme or the analogies that I noted in my observations, to that overall meaning? How do those observations that I made connect to and enhance and prove what I think that overall meaning, that audience takeaway is meant to be? At that point, you can articulate a very clear theory about what the poem means. You're going to say, because of this, and this, through these methods, the poet makes this point or has this overall meaning in the poem. Now, I'm sure some of you are sitting out there going, but you didn't do any specific examples. I have 2 places to send you. So one is specific poetry analysis that I've done really deep dives into a variety of poems on this channel. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. Number 2 is I have a worksheet that you can find on carly-stevens.com/resources. It's a new store for English teachers, English students, to help with things just like this. So on that worksheet, there's a little bit more than what I shared here, including some more concrete examples, some more prompts and things like that to really get you started in the right direction and and physically writing down those things that will lead you to great analysis that's backed up by evidence. So yeah, I'm really excited about this resource store. Go there, check out all of the things that I put together, and let me know what you think. If you have any questions about that worksheet, about analysis of poetry in general, then please put those down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video or the hundreds of other videos on this channel about literature and writing, then please consider leaving a tip with the super thanks down below. Otherwise, I will see you very soon. Bye.